you start.
Okay,
And I'll give you tips along the way.
Okay, perfect. So the biggest thing
I know
is
this
the.
for Zach.
What?
So you can see.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Remember.
I always work from the ground up when I'm coaching the deadlift. Okay, so we have our traditional deadlift. So we want the midfoot underneath the bar. Okay, we do that because if people are too far back, they can light up the low back if they help for the pull here. But we want to get that midfoot underneath the bar. As we're pushing our hips back, we want to be on the outside. A lot of people have a really wide stance and then they kind of come right here. That's not very optimal either. So either side, we want our shoulders right over the bar, okay? When we're here, we want to engage our lats and keep that bar nice and close. And then I like to keep pushing the floor away so we get to the top here and not using our back. And a lot of things that I see as well is when people are coming down, they don't bend their knees at all. They do like a relatively straight leg deadlift, and we won't want to do that for our traditional deadlift base. So just make sure there's that good knee bend, and then pushing through the floor, full hip extension at the top, and then control it, you should bend here.
So yeah, so the biggest thing is lat engagement. A lot of members don't get that lat engagement, or there's some that have mobility issues and they can't. And that's when things happen like a bicep tear because they're pulling their bicep instead. So just remember lat engagement. Some people will feel back pain even in this position, and that's what block pulls are for. So you'll notice that sometimes we do block pulls where we elevate the surface, right? And so if they are having issues during your regular deadlift, it's always okay to go get plates and elevate the bar so that they can do block pulls instead, or elevated deadlifts. What's the difference between an RDL and a deadlift? I want to go with that too.
Yeah, so the deadlift, we start from the floor. The Romanian deadlift, we'll start in the same position where we stand up, and then from here, we're pushing the bar back. It's gonna go just above the knees or till they feel a good stretch in that hamstring and glute, and then we come back to the top.
So
Okay.
it's a top down, right, where the other one is bottom up. So top down is RDLs, they're shooting their hips back, more hamstring dominant. Another issue we find is people go too low and they start compensating their lower back. And so they'll go here, and then instead of the movement being hips back, they'll start like letting their back go forward. So you have to really watch that, because it can just be like a small movement. But if they start to go and then their hips aren't going back anymore, they shouldn't continue to go, right? Then that's all lower back.
You guys get the difference in the movement in the hips versus just in the low back?
So.
Yeah.
So like if I'm here and my hips don't move back, but I'm just bending here, that's gonna be all lower back. But in any kind of deadlift, the hip should be moving back and then coming up. That
So
way
I
it's-
do in place with personal training clients, I'll put like a foam roller behind their butt, and then when, I'm not gonna point at.
I was like-
Foam roller here, but, if they're not shooting their hips back, it won't hit the foam roller, but I want them to target that foam roller, right? And they shoot
Okay.
it back, right, put it next to a wall or something,
Yeah,
so they know what that hinge is, and it's not just reaching for something, right?
Right.
Instead of engaging their hamstrings.
Yeah, so slight bends the knee with an RDL too. Some people like walk it out. Yeah.
What's the difference between straight leg deadlift and a RDL?
Yeah, so straight leg deadlift, we're still going from the floor all the way up, okay? And it's midfoot. Some people like to coach it like more like top of the toe almost. And then it's relatively straight leg from here, squeezing the glutes up. And you can see on the way down, there's not the knee bend that you have in a traditional deadlift.
And it's gonna target more hamstrings rather than glutes. So, and then there's the trap bar deadlift, right? We haven't done a lot of those, but we have 3 trap bars.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
All done
where
the
you
same.
have the trap bar here, but it's more squat dominant, right? So you're really using more quads, but it's great for people who don't have that like mobility. as well.
Questions?
Or feedback? Zach?
I think I'm good on that, thank you.
Maybe you could help me with, like, I was trying to cue Roxy in not lifting the butt first.
So her hips might not be high enough to start, right? She's pretty flexible, and so,
Yeah.
we did the lat pull today. I practiced it with her.
Uh-huh.
She's like, I don't wanna do deadlifts anymore. She told me this morning.
Oh.
I'm like, well, let's practice this first. So, to engage her lats and to get her hamstrings to fire up, because her glutes are not very active. So we did a lat pull with deadlift. This part. Right, so we're here, we get into that hinge position, we do a lat pull, and then we practice the hinge. And then we even tried it down here, cause you can put a band on a bar too. You can put a
Yeah.
band on the bar so they're actually like forced to bring that back. There's a lot of cues in the, barbell rehab course on the deadlift and different things.
Okay.
But I had her practice this, I was like, let's do this, right? Get that in position, engage your lats, make sure her hamstrings are engaged. And she wasn't doing any of that hip hiking because she was forced.
Post office.
Thank you. You're welcome. So, that's a deadlift.
Okay.
Let's do the bench press.
Do you want me to stop the video for each one or just keep it going? Okay.
You want me to demo this one or you do it? Want me to talk it through or?
Oh, I don't care, I just didn't know what we were doing. Do you want me to do it this one? Okay.
You can talk if you want.
All right, okay, so for the bench press, you wanna line your eyes up with the bar, okay? You wanna get your feet ideally, like right underneath your knee, okay? Cause in the bench press, we also drive through the foot. So, from here, first thing is some people will like bring it off and go right into that first breath. You wanna make sure that you come off and then get set. We wanna pull our lats together, okay? Our shoulder blades are coming together to create a small arch. And then as we pull the barbell to our chest, we wanna make sure that we have a nice straight wrist. A lot of people will come back like this with their wrist, and anytime that we're not in like a mechanical advantage, we're gonna leak power, okay? So we wanna have nice straight wrists, or at least if you guys were to look, we wanna have the barbell in line with my wrist. So a slight bend is okay. It's kind of unnatural if you were to try and keep it locked out completely. So from here, again, pulling the bar to our lower chest and then pressing up. So as I press up, I'm driving through my toes as well, okay? So, and that will be very helpful when we're going heavy weight. But when people go really heavy and they press up, their butt should not be leaving the bench at all. So it's all points of contact.
But they should go ahead and stay there.
Oh, yeah.
And then remember, they are using their hips though. That's another thing I see is lacking power, is people are not using the full force through their whole body to do a bench press because they feel like they just need to be using their arms. And that's why your feet should be pressing through the floor, glutes are pressed to the floor, and you're using that powerful stance. So that bar path, like she said, starts above the shoulders, goes to the chest and back up. And then, remember, a lot of people are getting shoulder pain, so remember shoulder retraction is really, really important, right, in depression. And so that you create that arch in your back. And if this is causing pain for people, you can play with the width of their hands too, right? Some people prefer a narrow, this will be more triceps, right? But just play around with the grip, because I used to press more narrow and it was causing a lot of shoulder pinching, and when I just moved out a few more inches to make my arms more 90 degrees, right, when I'm pressing, it opened up that joint, chromium process joint area, space, to help with that pinching.
I know, I like this.
Block ones. So there also is, if they're having pinching on the bottom of the press, which happens a lot of shoulder pain, you can reduce the movement, arm movement, by adding a block here, so a yoga block. So they'd be doing the press, but they'd have to stop. You can get them on the floor and do a floor press, because then they're not going below that parallel, right? And, any other tips?
I'll make it the stress ball.
And don't forget, you can add plates to their feet, especially ladies that are shorter, or men that are shorter.
Yeah.
Put plates under their feet and make sure they're even plates.
These benches are a little tall.
Yeah.
I want to get the little stress thing though, that sent you, the little stress thing. On their chest.
Oh, with the little
ice.
ice.
Anything else on that? Any questions about that? Oh, spotting. One issue I find too is when people are spotting, don't touch the bar. You can help them with the initial lift off, right? But then after that, make sure they're set, and then just be there, ready for them, right? I like a split stance to help protect my back. We don't have like elevated surfaces to stand on, but don't touch the bar until they can't do it anymore, right? Like you'll see this like depressed, like I can't, they try to increase and then they go back down. That's a good indication. Any other?
I would just say communicate with them before, even if they'll lift off, it's like, hey, do you want me to help you get the bar off? And if they say yes, then help them, otherwise don't touch it. But I never touch the bar unless they ask. That's what I tell people.
Yeah, but
because-
also be prepared for the,
Yeah.
especially when people are lifting heavy. If you need a double spotter, right, on each side, you would help spot and follow the bar. Use your legs, right? Don't try and lift with just your arms, especially with those heavy guys, so you can lift it back up.
Yeah, and there's no shame either, like, sometimes when like Ryan or Will are going super heavy, I'm like, I don't feel confident spotting 255 pounds on like a bench press, because if they like completely fail, I can't like lift that here and
Right.
back, right? So there's no like, you know, I don't know, shame in being like, hey, so-and-so, will you help me on this side? And make sure if it's someone in the class, you instruct so you don't like block the bar, right?
Yeah.
Or just be like, hey, I don't wanna do this, will you come spot Ryan?
And on those days, pair up clients. They pair up usually
Yeah.
themselves, a lot of them have their own time. Like, you're not the only one spotting. Like, the client should be paired with another client that will help them spot. Or if they're not, ask them, hey, can you spot her, and teach them how to spot.
Sarah paired up with me once. She's like, I'm not gonna be any help if you need help. So I was like, it's like, I know I can do this, so you're fine with it.
So then get
Yeah.
someone. to
Yeah,
help you, right?
maybe somebody who can lift it.
Yeah. So, okay, all right, let's do the next one, squats.
I rewrote the numbers. Except for the bench press, because the bench was in the way. Am I squatting?
Sure.
She's got a hoodie up, she's going hard.
You don't need to, since it's hard to see, because I want to show, because your lats. I want to show high bar, low bar.
Oh, wait, what's wrong with me? You want me to sit down?
What's wrong with me?
Oh.
Nothing's wrong.
So what did I do?
Everything.
Just you can't see the muscles on your back.
Oh,
See the
sorry.
Clothing.
We need to see all of your muscles,
Yeah.
so. Which I have to tell you, my daughter was like, Chrissy's legs are so muscly. She's like, they're so awesome. Like,
All right.
Chick could drop kick a rhino.
That's what I'm going
Okay,
for.
remember to always face the rack when you're squatting and instruct the clients. When we squat, on squat days, both bars will be facing this way, because we've had instances of people failing back here and falling into stuff. So we always squat facing the wall, okay? We do a high bar, we don't really do low bar squats here. We have never instructed it, but if that's an option for somebody that they need, then we can, but. Go ahead.
Okay, so high bar, you're gonna get up underneath bar just on your traps. If people use a neck pad, that's fine. Just always like instruct them, like, make sure it doesn't roll up onto your neck. That's the biggest thing, okay? Everyone's squat stance is gonna be different. Do you want me to go into that real quick? Everyone's squat stance is different. A good way to help people find that is you have them lay on their back, they pull their knee to the chest, and then they're gonna kind of just pull around to find what's the position that's most comfortable for them. So for me, because everyone hip socket is different, okay, so I'm just gonna feel around here. For me, it's here in this position.
You can even help them too, like I've done it, and Chrissy's done it, you know, and you can kind of feel like where they are more, see she can move a little bit more here, but here she kind of stops. And so if they can't feel it, you can kind of play around with it too, a little bit, and so that would be their squat stance rather than trying to squat narrow.
Yeah, because everyone's hip socket is different, right? So if you like, oh, like, no, straight toes, shoulder width apart, it's like, no.
Straight toes is out, guys.
Don't do that.
Yeah, so you can actually change like
Unless
the
that's what
angle
their
of your
hips do, right?
toes.
Yeah, exactly.
unless that's what their hips like.
Yes, unless your hips are like that, straight toes, knees always follow the toes no matter where they're at, right? Whether they go wider with their toes, the angle. You'll notice that Miranda squats, it's very not
Hella
really
wide.
Yeah, Miranda will squat like really wide, but that's so that she can get the depth that she needs, and her knees are still following her toes, she's not like caved in,
Yeah, she was doing wide, but she was good.
so.
Okay, so again, up underneath, bar on the traps, stepping back, getting your feet set, whatever stance is good for you. The first thing I always cue, not a group class, is you wanna open up the hip. So open up the hip by rotating out. We have 3 points of contact on the ground. So inside of the foot, outside, and our heel is glued to the floor the whole time. Open up the hip, and then we go down into our squat. And then we drive through the entire foot to get back up. As far as the breathing goes, big breath on the way in, down, and I'm gonna talk so I can't do it, but on the way up, that's when they exhale, okay? So exhale on the way up. And then low bar, I'll never do low bar, but you're gonna get it so.
Your hands go wider on
Yeah.
the low bar.
And so this is not ideal for people who have shoulder restrictions, okay? And also the low bar is gonna cause that chest to go forward just a little bit more. So just be prepared to see that, but same concepts apply going down into the squat and back up.
Now I'm
Okay?
gonna compare Chrissy and I. So I'm pretty sure that Chrissy, I have longer femurs than Chrissy.
Yeah, she does.
Come here. So when we squat, we're gonna be totally different because my femurs start like go way up here somewhere, I don't know, they
Yeah.
attach, right? So when I.
They do attach.
So let's squat together. So you'll notice, like, watch my hinge. Like, for me to get low in a squat, I have to pretty much bend in half where she's more upright.
Yeah.
My
And that's
feet are
okay,
a lot lower.
right? Like, but my back, I'm still doing the tuck. This is the other thing, is a lot of people experience back pain with squats. So remember to tuck their tail and then hinge back just slightly. So when you're doing this, you're getting under the bar, squeezing those traps, right? They're tucking and they're hinging before they even squat, just a little bit to keep their core engaged. Then they're squatting down, but my whole torso is still aligned, right? From my neck all the way down my tailbone.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do it again. Then bring it back up, okay? So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So some people try to just like squat straight down, and then that's when they put a lot of load on their spine instead of engaging their core.
Okay.
Okay. Good. That's it on the squat. Any questions? Anything else, Zach?
No, it looks good to me. You guys are doing great.
Okay. All right, then we got overhead press. Overhead press is tricky, especially with a barbell and with people with lots of shoulder issues. And so dumbbells are always okay if someone needs to change the angle of their arms. So anyway.
Okay, so same rules apply when we're, sorry, I thought you were gonna talk. So get our hands just outside of our shoulders, okay? Stepping back. From here, you can see how my wrists are kind of bent just to support that barbell now. But as I press, my wrists will straighten out a little bit. It's like the same kind of concept as the bench press. We want everything in line so we have a good power, okay? So from here, are we doing just overhead press or overhead press? Okay, so from
Stick
here,
press.
we're gonna press up. As I press, my torso will move back a little bit, just so I don't hit my face. And then I'll move my chest forward at the very top to get through that little window I created with my arms, okay? So move back, and then I press up. So back a little bit, and press forward, okay?
One thing you'll find is some people will like just push their head, their neck through instead of their torso. So that could be a good cue to give someone is to push your torso through and not just your neck.
Yeah.
So they're not straining their necks.
Good.
Push press, right, is gonna be the same thing, except you're having the dip and the drive, right? Dip the drive, push, still doing that same like mechanical pattern of your torso, right? Dipping, moving the head back, and then putting the torso through.
Make sure that we're dipping down just enough to get a little bit of power to get to the top. People who squat too low, they're gonna lose the power because they're going down too far, taking the tension out of the legs. And so it's just a dip and it's a drive up. So like a lot of people today, we're going down way too low.
Which is more squat to press, not.
And they're doing like
not-
this,
Yeah.
okay, but it's explosive. So it's down and up,
Okay.
okay?
Like I said, bars can be restrictive for a lot of people, so it's always okay to grab dumbbells, and ask for other modifications if you need other ones. Because we can do lots of things, like today Chrissy was doing, scapular rotation things instead. There's lots of other ways to work shoulder. Landmine works really great to change the angle too of an overhead press, still get that pattern. So.
Can I go into like a common, like the overactivation of the anterior delt? So a common, not injury, but like source of pain for people when they bench, anything with shoulders, is they feel a lot here, okay? So oftentimes when that happens, it's because the rear delt is not activating to stabilize at the shoulder. And so exercises like wax on, wax off, where you have a band here, and you're activating all of the rotator cuff muscles here, will help engage. And then I like to do the banded external rotation because that lights up here. And so when everything is firing the way it should, then that takes off some of the pressure, some of the work off the anterior delt, and has the entire shoulder complex working instead of just here. So did that with Amy today, and then she went back to her push press, and she didn't have any pain, so.
Okay.
And
Do you
lower-
give them like a weight or a band or anything for like the
Band, yeah, light band.
And so they're like pulling away with the band. And,
So
sorry.
You're just gonna get around the wrist,
Oh, okay.
and then they're gonna stabilize So if they're at their bar, they can just be here,
Okay,
and they're gonna go 5 circles one way,
okay,
5 circles the opposite way,
yeah,
and then they do the same thing. And nice, slow control, and then the banded external rotation here, hold it 3 to 5 seconds, so they come back in.
okay,
And a lot of times I like to give people blocks, cause they'll be compensating in other ways. And so we'll put a block under here, so they have to push their elbow against the side to really get the shoulder blades
Yeah.
to move and the root delt to do the work instead of other things.
yeah,
You
okay.
can do a ball too against a wall, right? You do the same thing where you're just like pushing, having them push their shoulder blade away to do that rotation.
We lost him for a second, but he's
Say
back.
something, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Lower lat activation is a big deal too. A lot of people who have internal rotation or they're on computers or desks jobs all day don't get a lot of lower lat activation, which can help the pain too.
Yeah.
If it's activated. Anything else? That was my volleyball move. Let's get
Warmed your
warmed
arm up nice.
All right, bench press, glute thrust. Let's get a bench.
It was a practice.
You just wanna do it against this?
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna put it right here, so okay. Move back in. We use the 95-pound mark. We need the pad though.
Do you want me to do this one as well? Or do you wanna do this one?
I can do it.
Good. Happy to, I just did.
Oh, no,
All right, so on our glute thrusts, right, we do not have to use a bench. We sometimes use our Bosu balls. Some people prefer that, especially since these are really tall for a lot of ladies.
Mhm.
You can get really specific with how high you want it, but we have 2 heights. So anyway, you're gonna sit on the bench or on the floor and make sure that they roll this to their thighs, to their hips, right? But this pad will move. Some people will think that the pad is where the bar is supposed to be. But remember to center the pad on the bar and then move it, right? Drive through your heels, tuck your chin, go through that. Bar, okay? So chin up, chin tucked, core tucked, so ribs are down, pelvis is down. And then you're going to look towards your pelvis as you're driving through your heels. Okay, one common thing I see is some people are too far away. That's the hamstring, right? Not glutes. If you're too close, you'll feel those quads, right? And everybody's mechanically different. So I always ask them where are you feeling this? Are you feeling this in your buns? A lot of people need to add pauses because they're not feeling it. So and before adding load, I just have them add pauses and really squeeze their glutes. So they're activating the whole glute. A lot of people will pinch their glutes where they're just feeling right next to the tailbone, and we don't want that either. You want to feel your buns fire up. So chin tucked. There's also the scoop method, which for some people works, where they kind of scoop it up instead of maintaining.
You guys see how there's a lot of movement in her lower back.
Yeah,
when she
so
does
this is
that.
the scoop method where it's kind of more anterior tilt to posterior to anterior, right? In that SI joint. But most people like the straight board where you're keeping your core tight.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I was trying to talk while I was lifting?
I know. No, so for the most part, if they're doing I like to call it the seesaw method, where it's a straight line from the shoulder to the knee, there shouldn't be any rib flaring, okay?
Right,
So
those
just-
ribs should be tucked down.
Yeah, so it's down, up, and then I usually, when I describe it as a seesaw, they're oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they can visualize what they should be doing with
They
their
should be
body.
pivoting from your shoulder blades to your hip joint, right? Not the back joint,
Yeah.
so hip. So keep it tucked, bridging up, and full extension too. I see people come up and then they stop here, right? They need full extension without hyperextending. So make sure they get that full extension all the way up. They start experiencing back pain, have them go lighter, focus on holds, focus on bracing. That's usually what is happening as they're losing their core activation. So.
Sounds good. Yeah. Good stuff.
All right, anything else?
I don't think so.
Any questions? Let me look at my list.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Kettlebell, I was gonna go over kettlebell stuff.
We had
Kind of
planes too.
Yes.
Yeah, I
What
think
do you
that's
want to
the
do
best.
first?
We can do the cleans and bars out.
Okay.
Let's turn the things so we can see.
So we
Or just
have
move over.
a couple different clean variations. So,
Zach can pipe in anytime too.
yeah, so we have the power clean.
Can you see, Chrissy? We're gonna do 2 clean variations.
Okay, so we have the power clean. So power, it refers to the position that we're catching the bar in. Okay, so the power position is up tall. There's other kinds of clean where you actually do a squat with it. I'm sure you guys have seen that, where, you know, they come up here and then they're catching the bar here
Yeah.
and then coming up. We'll never do that. Most people lack the strength and mobility to keep their elbows up in that front rack position. So we'll always do power, okay? So again, that power position, this is the power position where I catch it here, but I'm not going down into that squat, okay? So from there, the clean is always from the floor, okay? And the hang is always above the knee, okay? So power clean from the floor, catching in the power position, power hang clean, above the knee, catching in the power position, okay?
You got that one more?
Yeah,
Can you talk me through it?
oh, sure.
She's gonna notice anything I do wrong.
Yeah, so, starting from the floor,
This is a power, power clean.
so there's two poles, two portions to the power clean, so, yeah. So the first pole is from the ground, just above the knee, and then the second pole, or the transition, is from the knee, and we're gonna slide that bar up, okay, and we go into triple extension to catch that bar. Most people here are missing this second pole. They go straight from the ground
And they do this
to the top.
with no legs.
Yeah,
So they're just yanking at their elbow, shoulders, right?
Yeah.
So this is what the common one, right here. Ready?
yeah. So it's like a power deadlift, essentially.
Yeah,
That's the one I struggle with.
where they should be.
Good. And so, yeah, we want that connection piece all here, okay? Very important also, I've seen a lot of people lately especially, and I don't know why they're doing this, but they're bending at the arm here. So they're almost like doing like a little mini row before they bring the bar up, and it's not like that at all, okay? So your arm should be locked out. So, yeah,
Yeah.
locked out. And she's gonna go from here and up. So just think about, we want that barbell to come up. It's not bouncing off our legs, okay? If we bounce, the barbell is gonna displace forward, and we don't want that either, right? So it's here, up, and because we're going up, the barbell's traveling up, and then we just get up underneath it and catch it. That's it. Okay, so
So it's not
straight line.
bouncing, but it is hitting your thighs.
It raises up the thighs, but it should not bounce, okay? And it should be coming up to like right here. So, that is the biggest thing, is it's just coming up. And the hang clean does require more power, okay, because it's less distance to create the same kind of power to get the barbell up here. But I find it's a lot easier for people to try and get down the form in a lightweight, okay? So, does that make sense? You guys have
It makes
questions?
sense when you say it.
It's hard to do.
It's hard.
For sure.
It's a weird motion. I
I would-
struggle with this one a lot.
You can talk to me about this all.
99.9% of everyone here does it wrong. Everyone, myself included. So it's a very technical lift, takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you suggest, Zach?
No, I just heard like people say like triple extension, like at the ankle, the knees, and the hips. Like when you said just going straight up. So I like that. Yeah.
So, does everyone, do you guys wanna you can give it a try.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't need to be on camera. Can we
Yeah,
turn that
just
off?
turn it off.
Okay.
But the triple extension, again, just like Zach said,
I'm not
it's from
having
here,
proof.
and then we're coming up, and like I even missed that